Welcome to another podcast episode of the Bruz Bookshelf. You're here with your host, Lennon Givens. I'm here with my beautiful wife, Dr. Teresa Givens.
Hello.
And then we have the smooth, silky voice, baritone voice of Dr. Harvey Hinton III. Then we have fall on one ups alongside a Deuce Dog. It's the Deuce Dog Day. My line brother, Donovan Snipe.
What's happening?
What's up? No enthusiasm. We have rejoining with us my beautiful daughter, Nakaya, fall 2019 Beta Alpha, aka she is the Omega, number 75 to tell. Give it up, Nakaya.
Hola.
All right, no enthusiasm there. I think I'm gonna get a little bit more out of Erica. Spring 2001, Southern, Georgia Southern. Yes, baby, Georgia Southern. You ever met that person that you met them and you felt like, hey, this is my spirit cousin? Well, this one is my spirit sister. It's almost like we've been knowing each other our whole lives. Erica is the most selfless person I've ever met. She has the sweetest spirit. She does for you even when you don't need to be done for, but she just loves to do. Erica has a lot of friends, a catch-all. Erica territory is expanded so far beyond my reach and my imagination. Meet Miss Erica Thompson to the podcast.
Hey.
Hey, now let's get right into it. This book, It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Colleen. Why I couldn't call her Colleen?
Yes. Hallelujah.
Yeah, Colleen Hoover. Teresa.
Yes.
Why did you pick this book?
Well, I picked this book actually because my lovely legacy here told me, Mom, you got to read this book. And I said, Nakaya, is it a good book? And she said, yes, I love it, but I don't want to tell you too much. So I need you to read it first. And so I started to read it. And I said to myself, I'm going to make the boys read this book because I have been searching for a girl chicky book to make the boys read. And you chose to have dominion over me again tonight because I was going to introduce my lovely sorors tonight, but instead you just took over and did it yourself. But
You
I'm
can
gonna
do
let
it.
you. No, I'm good.
You can do
No, we're good. We're good. So,
Well, if you good, then don't
but
say
that's
anything
going
about it.
because that's going to be a part of the theme in this book because this
She
is
said
where we let the book
Message.
guide. Yes.
Right into it.
We let
Yes,
the
it is.
book guide
said
the
message.
discussion.
Yeah.
So as we let this book guide the discussion, it's going to be
You went for
real
it.
lively in here tonight. So I am so happy that I have two sorors with me tonight. I think this is the first time in the Bruz Bookshelf history that there's been this much estrogen in the area and the air and this bedroom especially. So I am really excited tonight.
This is the PNG podcast tonight.
There we
The
go.
20 pearls.
There we go.
Okay.
We taking over.
Harvey, what you think? What you think about this book?
I hated this shit, dog.
That was the goal.
Let me
That
tell
was
you,
the goal.
we gotta start from the beginning and just separate the damn story versus the content. Well,
Okay.
I can't even say it like that, right? Yeah, I'm gonna say that first, and I'm gonna go. I explain myself later, but this book was trash. This book was like if Lifetime had TVMA shows. That's what this
I
would be.
succeeded. I know, right? I succeeded.
But yeah.
What about it that you didn't like?
Well, as a black
As a
man, I was
story.
not even represented in the novel. I mean, there was no diversity. It was a gay white guy popped up in there, but other than that, it was a very white story. And I just don't. I like to be included. I like being, feeling belong. I just didn't find myself better in Boston. So I mean that was the start,
Bruh,
right?
there was
And
no black people in Giovanni's room, and we really enjoyed that.
that was different though. It was written by a black guy, so who was playing with it? It was different. It was totally different. It was James
Okay.
Baldwin.
It,
Totally
it was a
different.
fictional white story.
Totally different. This thing though, I mean, nah. I mean, I wouldn't expect a black person to be in here unless he was working at Bibbs. He might have been anyway, but
Oh my God.
it just in this story, it's entertaining, but I'll just wait till we get into it, man.
I
I
succeeded. This is
yeah.
great.
I
I'm
thought
feeling.
it was
Yeah.
amazing.
I know, right?
I thought it was a pretty good story.
I knew that.
Yeah,
I knew it was
y'all
going
was
to
gonna
be
say
like
that. This
this.
I
was
thought
trash.
it was a
creepy.
good story.
This book was creepy.
And the whole
This
time
was
I was
creepy.
trying to figure out the title. Okay, where she's going to put it ends with us. Is she talking about them? She talk, So at the end, I was like, oh, okay, I like that. I like how she did that. Donovan, what's your thoughts?
I kind of mirror some of Harvey's sentiment as well, although I kind of do like a good lifetime-ish battered surviving white woman story. I really like those stories, but this one kind of got on my nerves because it was just so. I just hated the character. Like she's trash to me.
Hey, Lily.
Yeah. Yeah, Lily is
Lily was
yeah,
trash.
Lily is garbage.
Wow.
Sorry, Liz.
Yeah, Lily is trash because I just don't know what to do. He's just so strong and I just want to be with him, but I need to leave. Girl, shut up. Like
He has on,
Yeah, I mean,
hated
I feel
disgusting.
you, but we're gonna get to that. We are
Mm.
going to get to that.
Kaya, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I picked the book, so I really like the book. There were some parts of the book where I was like, okay, now girl, stand up, get your life together. But besides it, I think the way she told the story was very well because I didn't understand the whole. Well, we'll get into it, but the whole writing letters to Ellen, her when she was younger, I didn't get it until the end. So I thought it was pretty good.
It's called The Past and the Present. And so the journal was used to talk about the past and do a character build. So we get an intimate understanding on Lily and why Lily is who she is. But she's only like 23, and then I think it ended when she was like 25. But
yeah, but it goes from 15.
yeah,
16.
She 15. Yeah, in
Yeah,
her.
she's 15,
because,
turning 16.
he
Yep.
keeps asking her when she'll be 16 years old.
Yeah, she'll.
what's your thoughts, Erica?
So I thought the book was really good, but for me, it was good because it gave a mirror into people's lives, in my opinion, that we don't really talk about. So, for example, everybody has like skeletons or things that they remember about childhood. She was very vocal about it, and she brought those things to the forefront so that you could kind of compare and contrast the shitty parts of whatever it was and learn from it. So, my motto is what you don't repair, you repeat. And I think that she did a very good job of showing that she didn't really want to repeat what she had seen.
Right.
She was making a very intentional effort to repair it. And so for me, I don't know, I loved it. I read it in like a day and a half.
Right.
Wow.
That was Nakaya too. Nakaya
I did
was
nothing at work for like a whole day.
it was a
That
page
was my
turner
day.
for Nakaya too.
I think
She
I
said-
stayed up until 4 a.m. reading it. And
I mean, it's easy to flow. I mean, it flows, so it's
So
easy.
it's
I
written
can see
well.
how you could do that.
So
Yeah,
so
not
to your
hard to
point,
comprehend.
it's a great story. So if it can keep your attention for all those hours, then it must be a great story. But for the viewers, since we have viewers now,
we have viewers.
all right. For the viewers, I just want to give a short summary, and I didn't write anything down for the book. It's a book it's a coming of age story of a girl named Lily whose ideas of a relationship is shaped by observing her mother and father's relationship, which was a tumultuous and a violent relationship. Her dad was a staple in the community. He owned a successful real estate company, and he was the mayor of this small town called Plethora, Maine. And so because of their social status in the community, nobody ever knew of what was going on behind doors and how abusive her dad was. So she grew up not liking her dad. So at the beginning of the book, it opens up with her giving her dad's eulogy. And her mother told her before she goes up, she said, hey, I need you to go up there and say at least 5 things about your dad. And Lily gets up and she said, hey, I'm the daughter of such and such Bloom. And that's it. And then she went and sat down. She couldn't find anything to say about her dad. So what they did was that mold her idea of a relationship, and it kind of jaded her towards men. But at the same time, there was a subplot. The subplot, there was this guy named Atlas who was homeless, who went to the school with her, and she cared for Atlas, which eventually turned into love. But Atlas was somebody that she didn't think that she could be in a real serious romantic relationship with. Plus, Atlas left real early. Atlas was 2 years older than her, and he went to the military. So Atlas is gone. She ended up going to college, and she moves to Boston, and she meets this really aggressive guy named Rao.
So are you going to give the entire book away?
I'm sorry.
And you gonna automatically call Ryle aggressive?
I know, like
Ryle is very aggressive.
Okay, so we gonna get up off my man Ryle.
Beating up the lawn
we gonna get up off my man Ryle.
We start off with violence. We open with violence with Ryle.
He opened up with violence.
Ryle, with violence.
He doesn't. No.
Ryle was trying to destroy it.
Oh, y'all like Ryle?
So wait.
Y'all freak.
That's why this book is trash.
Like Ryle.
That's exactly why this book is trash.
It's that whole trope of like.
So I don't. He started off aggressive, but not towards anyone.
Right, and sitting in this masculine space of all the toxicity that I have to sit through every time we have a podcast, for you all to immediately come out and be like, "Wow," because y'all are probably just as bad as Ryle. And I just, you know what we're gonna do tonight?
A man who threw the shit over his shoulders.
I knew we were gonna do that, but that's
this is what we're gonna do tonight.
This
is what we're going to do tonight.
I want to beat you.
Okay, this is what we're going to do tonight.
Okay,
and tonight we're going to be in this space.
Of course, that was
I'm
a cute on, goddammit.
All right,
I'm a cute on. But we're talking about Ryle. We ain't talking about me.
Oh, no. Because this, remember, this is what you said. This is where the book leads the discussion. It doesn't mean we have to talk about the book. The book is going to lead us into discussions.
All
so
right, she about to set
that
me up.
is what this is. Hey, I probably will.
So we're gonna talk about
let's
this
all
week, right?
be careful.
Okay. No,
so this is where we are with a lot of things. And Nakaya and I kind of touched on this before. Before I was like, you know what, Kaya, you got to come on and talk with us too, because not only do you bring a younger perspective to us, but you and I were going back and forth with this book, and it made me think that being a Black woman, and we've talked about this several times on this podcast, I think that we expect a certain amount of abuse. I think that we are comfortable with a certain amount of abuse, because I was really mad at Lily sometimes. I was like, damn, Lily, what's your problem? You started that.
What the freaking what? And which part? Which
Okay.
time did she start?
Okay.
There we go, Kaya.
I agree with her, because my thing is, if we're gonna get into the book, we're gonna get into the book. The first incident which happened was totally preventable. I get you
in
drunk,
the kitchen.
we're all drunk, cool. But he was just put his hand in the oven. Your first instinct was to laugh at his $1 million hands. His whole career,
$1 million hands.
She trash.
You're
Tell
laughing.
it right.
Beat
She's
your ass
trash.
if you laugh at $1 million.
No.
She's trash.
No, it's not
I
about.
kind of saw that different. I was like, yo, dumbass, why you ain't get the
Yeah, and
what is wrong with you?
I'm like,
Ral is a creep.
But
Ral is
when
a
she
creep.
was laughing at him,
She's
and that's what Kaya,
trash.
me and Kaya were sitting there. But the way the book is written, it doesn't say that he hit her. It doesn't say that there
He didn't
are
hit her.
any extenuating circumstances. All it says is he pushed her out of the way or what. I mean, so again,
I
this
can
is
read it.
my
On page 183, it says knocking me backward. Not one
knocking me
time
backwards.
slap her, punch her, drag her. He just knocked her backwards.
He just
Pushed her
knocked her backwards.
So
I'm not.
He was
this is what I was going to say at the beginning when I was talking about the
Like,
content
I'm
versus
over
the
that part.
story.
He just knocked her backwards. Yeah, so it's a no for me. For
it's
that
a no
part.
for you.
It's a
Okay.
no for me. for
Listen,
that.
I'm
No.
just gonna live in my
This
This
is
truth.
the part.
several knocked
Can I
backwards
say
by
this one
accidents
time?
for
Can I
me.
say this
Okay.
one time? It is nothing cool about interpersonal domestic violence. Nothing about that shit is
Nothing.
cool.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Right? We are forced to deal with it. We're forced to listen and see this from multiple perspectives. And that's what we're talking about. And we're going to say some things that might because it's a slippery slope.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
slippery
and that's why
slope
I
if we're taking
said
responsibility in the conversation.
that I have to look at myself. And while I was reading this book, because I finished this book several days ago, and so I had to kind of look at myself, and I had to say, what type of person am I, and what kind of life have I led for me to sympathize with Rao? And then I got confirmation because my daughter, who is, I was about to say she's 19, but she's not. She's 22 now. Oh, where'd the time go? But she agrees to a certain extent. So I'm like, I obviously instilled that in my child too. So
What?
neither one of us was like, we didn't consider, and I guess I'm speaking, Kai, you have to tell me of now. We didn't consider that to be a deal breaker offense when he pushed her back in the kitchen. It was the first time she was laughing at him. And I think that, he was like, "This what's wrong with you?" I mean, it didn't seem like he didn't slap her. He didn't
damn.
kick
like,
her.
This is hurting. Like I'm like,
Me too.
Like
Me too.
I can't.
I'm like,
There is
come on, man.
Okay,
I'm serious.
so Nakaya,
Like he didn't even know her like that though.
I have a twin brother. I have brothers. I've done stuff, laughed in their face. They pushed me back. We've argued. We fought. It wasn't a big deal to me.
When he pushed you, did you come to?
Come to what?
Like, he pushed you and then you woke up with ice and you was like, how did I end up in this
That
bitch?
wasn't like that this first time.
That wasn't the first
okay, so
instance.
I think that's my thing. So you can have a level of empathy for people. And what I hear from me is that I give people a pass.
Mhm.
So like my husband gets a pass. So a deal breaker for me kind of might be me hitting my head on the counter. Like that could just be the thing that just kind of sends me over. Whereas
Head on the counter. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like
behind the back
an
slam.
affair may not be
Mm-hmm.
an offense that is a deal breaker for me.
Right.
So I'm saying that I agree in part that Black women, and women, period. I don't even think it's just Black women. I think women in general find compromise and settling to be one and the same.
Yeah, for more reasons than one.
For more reasons than
For
one.
more reasons
For
than
sure.
one, especially her mom. So her mother. So
I like that conversation that she had with her mother at the end.
But I want to stay at the beginning for just a second, simply because there was so much going on here. And I really do want to point out that Ryle had a lot of good qualities. I mean,
right, but your deal breaker is you blacking my eye though. So for real.
I mean, and
you're
honestly,
such a nice guy.
How was Rao a nice guy?
Okay, number one.
I think Rao was the quintessential white man.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yes,
Okay.
Rao was the white man, and Rao was entitled, and Rao felt like he was old. He told her, "Look, I need you to make it."
Okay, no. All right, this is okay. All right.
He's a freaking creep.
He's a creep.
Embarrassing her in front of company.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he was
Niggas
embarrassing her.
clothes, man.
Like he
You not gonna
lifted
do
her
that.
up in the middle of a party. These people she just met
He's a creep.
and drag her and take her upstairs.
Teresa, I have to agree with Lenny on this.
Like you like
Takes
that?
her in the
Hey,
room in the party, bro.
What you
He's
think,
a creep.
Kaya?
He's a creep.
Everybody has their imperfect qualities.
I mean,
She's so
hey,
dramatic.
listen,
That's why I
I
thought
told
this
y'all.
book is trash because
I
the
agree.
I
timing
am
of
going
her
to.
story-
Listen. I'm gonna live my truth with y'all, and I'm
I love
not.
it.
I promise you, I will live my truth with y'all tonight. I have been picked up and taken out of a party before.
This was before the boom boom, or this is before they ever boom boom.
I
What
understand
makes
that,
it super
but
aggressive. So he that's
It
what
wasn't
makes
even-
him feel more entitled. That's what's
This
wrong
is
with it.
horrible, man. This
Like
book
they're
is
not
trash.
even been familiar with each
This
other.
book
They
is
And
have
what you
trash.
not.
did right then was you taught him how to treat you. That was the thing for me. I was like, oh no,
They
you didn't.
never even gotten intimate.
right, and which is even more of a reason. And when they were together, he didn't even force her to have sex with him. He didn't even ask her to.
Yes, he did.
He was like,
Yes,
if you don't
he
want
did.
to, no, he
He
didn't.
forced her
The
to
first
all the
time he was
times.
like, let's
He
just lay down.
texted her and
Yeah, he
stalked
was
her, and
with-
every
he was
time
drunk.
he
But
called
no,
her, he told her he
no,
wanted to
no.
fuck
was
her.
like,
He told
make it
no.
stop. Make it
He
stop.
I couldn't get
told-
over every time. Make
But-
it stop. I want to fuck you
Yeah.
and
But
leave me
he
alone.
also
Fucking
was
get out my
very,
life.
very,
I'm
very
addicted to
clear.
fucking.
But-
I just want to fuck you and leave
But
you.
but let me tell you,
Please
this
fuck
is-
me and leave me. Like
this is
fuck
what
me.
I
He
liked
was
You
like
gonna fuck or
five
nah?
chapters of fucking.
that is
Say
what I
yes.
liked about Rao.
That's
And that
horrible.
was Rao told her from
That's why-
jump.
That's why we together, Teresa. If you like Ralph, because that was my thing in college.
Well, that's not how you were with me, so it has nothing to do with me.
Uh-oh.
So the thing with that is, what I
You
liked
kiss me,
about
hug me,
Rao
girl, you
was
gotta
that he
hug
was
me, do
very
this.
upfront with her from the beginning. From the moment he met her on that balcony, he said to her, I am not interested in
a
any
long-term
relationships. I don't do them. He said, I do one night stands.
And that's it.
That's it. So Lily is the fool. I don't understand why
How's she the
we're
fool? This fool took a picture of her and put a picture of this stranger girl up
A
on his
whole
refrigerator.
picture.
Yes,
That
it's
was so
true.
creepy to me.
Yeah, he
Like,
was
that
That
was
was
kind
extra
of
creepy.
weird.
That was
he
extra
imprinted
creepy.
on her.
He was creepy.
He
I
imprinted
just
on
want to
her.
say before
We
my
call that grooming.
I just want to say that in no way do we allow domestic violence. Do we? We're just saying that throughout the book, the way that she wrote the story, you kind of fall for Ryle. You're like, oh, I like Ryle. He has these qualities about Ryle. When you get towards the middle of the book, in the book, you're like, oh wow, well maybe Ryle isn't that person that we perceived him to be in the end. That's all I'm saying. But
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking that too, Nakai. I was thinking maybe Rao was tone it down. Shit, Rao turned it up.
Right.
No,
and
but
then-
this
hold on. Let me say this.
because he was broken as shit. That's why he was a raggedy ass dude.
He was a raggedy
was
ass
it.
dude that was smart.
Okay,
Yeah.
but he was raggedy to his core.
Yeah, he
for
was
real.
raggedy. I mean, the first time he
y'all
met
is
her,
not
the
about
first time
to
he
be
met her, he was
shitting
kicking
on
over.
Ryle like this.
You're a creep, Teresa.
What?
I'm sorry.
She is
The
about
dude's
to
a
talk
creep.
about Ryle.
Hey, the first time,
I would
you
marry
were saying,
Ryle
Harvey?
tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just saying he was a creep.
the
Again.
first time she met Rao,
Fall down
he
some
was
steps,
kicking
that
over
nice
lawn
thing.
chairs and shit, and then he put his hand under her shirt, so he was trying to get it on the very first time they met up on the rooftop, right? So he shot his shot on the rooftop. The second time he met, he knew that his sister worked for her and she owned the shop. She hurt herself. And he said in an
He didn't
earshot
know
of
then.
her sister.
He didn't know, and he didn't know that either.
Hold on. When he got there, he knew.
He didn't know.
He didn't know what.
He didn't know that was Lily. That was a chance encounter.
When he got there, he knew.
I'm
He
talking
didn't
about
know
when he got there, when he was wrapping her ankle up.
Yeah.
He knew that at this time, before he said and did what he did, he knew that there was her shop. He knew that his sister worked for her, and he looked at her and said, "I want to fuck you." In earshot of her,
Because that was the story.
So that's the second time they met.
No.
The very second time they ran into
No.
each other, he did it again.
Yes, it
That
was.
The
but
third time they met at the party. You know what he did for the third time? He picked her up and in front of everybody and
and took her to
his
the
hand
back.
up under her dress.
I mean, I'm not really mad at him for
cavemaned her
that
ass to the room.
because that's
We
what she
call that
wanted.
sexual assault in
Thank
2022.
you so much, Donovan.
we did not
This
do
is
that.
all Lily. This is what
Yeah.
Lily wanted from Ryle.
How does Rao know that? And what makes it right? That's what makes this book
Because she
confusing, man. It's
told
trash.
him.
Yeah,
It's
And then the
trash.
whole
said no.
time, on
She
the way
was
to the
give-
party, she
The
was
whole book, she was like, "Oh, he grabbed me by my neck. Oh,
Yeah,
he
like-
grabbed my thigh. Oh, his
She
fingers
said we
is
can't
going."
be together because we want two different things. You want a one night stand, and I'm looking for a
But she
husband.
did
It's
say
pretty
you
much-
making me dizzy.
And she also, the very first night that they met, if he had not gotten a phone call, she was going to give in.
Exactly.
Listen,
Lily's hot
She
ass.
said she felt
even
Ryle
if she
in
felt
her
what?
soul. And she had only felt that one other time. And we're going to have to get to that one other time because that one other time is what has me with Lily about to throw up. Lily made me want to throw up.
Okay, and I can see
Lily been
that.
fast since she been 15.
Not even
Since she
the
been
fact-
15.
I just think that Lily was very, very young acting
She said,
She was
"My
15.
God, this man can kiss."
the whole time.
It is like he's take kissing
Yeah.
serious as serious as he
time.
take his profession. He begins to pull me away from the door when I hit him with the realization that yes, his mouth is capable of a lot. But what his mouth has failed to do is respond to everything I told him upstairs. No, stop, put me down. His mouth forgot to say okay.
He's a creep.
He's a creep. He's a creep, man.
I hated the glorification of creep behavior, man. Like in the time.
Well, I think it's so symbolic to white men. Period.
No, it is. I understand that. Like, right. And I mean, it's relatable and it's not something that's made up. But in the timeliness of the Me Too movement, the timeliness of we got athletes being harassed by medical doctors. She couldn't come up with a better character than
okay.
falling
You're not
in love
attracted
of
to
having
Harvey?
a sexual examination. Like all that shit is weird, man.
Hold on,
Like, all
hold
that's
on.
weird. She could have wrote a better story.
Get out
To
here.
Miss Colleen's Hoover's.
I still thought so.
I think that she was trying to create a character that was handsome, that was aggressive, that was accomplished, and he was the bee's knees. He was not only a doctor, he was a neurosurgeon, right? No kids, right? So
he gets a pass for being a creep because he's a neurosurgeon.
No, he doesn't
was
get a
an
pass.
aggressive-
He eventually got a pass
But she wanted
because
to
why
create
he was
this
that
picture
way.
of how you can get so trapped and entangled up in such a situation, and it could still be bad, even though
it looks good.
He checks all the boxes on the outside. Sure. On the inside is not good at all.
You're giving her way too much credit.
No, I think that's exactly what it was.
I think that's what it was.
He's this, but he an asshole. He's this, he's a creep. It was kind of like she gave like this asshole, like fanfare, and then it was kind of like the whisper that he's
a little overconfident.
I remember one young lady that I was dealing with one time.
For sure he is.
I never forget one young lady, like, you know how you're young and you get mad when you find out that you're involved with a person and you find out she messing with somebody else because she can, and you're like, well, I don't want you messing with nobody, so let's go together. She was like, nah, you can't control me like that. That's Ryle. Ryle bent all the way over just because he wanted some pussy. He married her because he wanted some pussy.
Okay, no.
All of that was about him being just super.
All right, so let's go here with Ryle.
I'll change my whole life for you.
Hey,
I'll
we
throw
on
my
YouTube.
whole career away because I just love fucking you.
We
like,
on YouTube.
Come on, man.
We on YouTube. We are live.
Well, so I don't necessarily think that
they fucking in the book on YouTube. Lenny, I'm sorry. I mean, the content drives the discussion, dog. That was
we can use another word for the YouTube.
So
okay, we'll come up with something. I forgot it was on YouTube.
I think he felt like he was changed. I feel like she gave him something to kind of maybe like step his game up.
Yes.
But I don't think he was capable.
He didn't step his game up though.
Yes,
I
he
think he tried, though. I
did.
think he
No,
really
he
did
didn't.
try. I think
How?
he
Oh
was
my
How?
God.
What did he do,
I think he was
Teresa?
kind
What
of
did he
like a
do?
quart, and he was poured into a gallon, and he just didn't
Okay.
have
Thank
enough.
you, Donovan.
So,
He did not step his game
so
up.
number
What did he
one,
do?
Mm.
What did he do?
He
Ryle
bought
was
her.
a
He bought
guy.
her out.
Ryle was a guy who had resigned himself to, I never want to attach myself to anyone. I am going through life by
the best.
myself, and I'm going to make this goal for myself, which is to be the best neurosurgeon in the country because I killed my brother and I want to
accident.
find a way to fix that.
He killed his brother when he was a kid, and he tried to put his brains back in his head with his hands.
I need to
Great
find
Maybe his
a
parents should
way.
have went to jail. I don't know. Maybe that was it. Maybe
I
because they was
need to
rich, they
find
didn't go
a
to jail.
way
And he had so much to say about that.
get healed from this. And I cannot do it if I attach myself to anyone. So he goes up on this roof and he lays it all out because he's an angry, angry man.
He's so broken.
He's broken. And he gets on this roof and he's kicking and screaming and trying to get it out of his system. And he meets this person who touches him in a way that he's never been touched before.
Agreed.
And because he recognizes in her that she is just as broken because she's standing on a ledge
That makes him nervous.
that makes him nervous because she looks like she's going to commit suicide. So he immediately connects to her. So they now have a trauma bond.
That sounds so cute, but I didn't see it as a trauma bond.
Well, that's
I saw
because
him
you
being
didn't look
aggressive
for it.
on the. He was saying, "Get down, get down."
Yes,
He didn't even know her.
because she was on a ledge.
Okay.
What would you do if you saw a female on a ledge looking like she was about to kill herself?
Ask her to get off. And what I think is important, Teresa, is that the attraction was the brokenness. So you don't have to be attracted to people. Yeah,
Which was the trauma bond.
That was it.
Definitely.
It was the
Attracted.
trauma bond.
She was
And that's
attracted
Lily's
to
whole
people.
spiel. That's Lily's thing.
Lily's
That's her
whole-
kick.
Thank you.
I gotta
Because-
save you. I gotta make sure you doing all right. That's how she got with
Because
Atlas.
nobody ever saved her. Nobody ever saved her. So she did
Atlas saved her.
what.
Mm-mm.
No, he did. He just waited till she was
I mean, but,
16.
but
That's
she,
all.
she
He
didn't
just
have to
waited
be
till she was
saved.
16.
She didn't have to be saved. Nobody saved the mother, and she was disappointed in her mother for not walking away. So
Right. And
Yeah,
I'm
so-
glad that everything came full circle for her so she could see that it's not that simple. It's not simple, little girl. It's not simple to make those decisions.
No, it's
Life moves and you have to roll with the punches.
Literally, obviously.
Literally.
roll.
So, that particular
That
night
Floyd Mayweather role. You gotta.
when they were on that roof, he was giving her his full truth. And she was accepting of his full truth.
It
didn't
wasn't
accept
though.
it.
He left
didn't
out the
accept
part that I'm that kid who shot.
Right.
My
Well,
brother
and all of
and
those
his-
naked truths that they came up with, they did not get around to that. But what I'm saying, I guess, is that with all of what he was giving her, she kept saying, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm good with that." Well, no, I'm not good with that. Oh, but I am good with that. And he never forced her to do anything that she said no to. He was like, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Do you want to? And he was giving her just as much boldness as he kept throwing the bold stuff out at her. He was like, did you said this, you said that. Nothing that he said did she shy away from. And so I am going to step out on a limb here and say that if you are ever in the room with a female and you're just trying to find your boundaries, because that's what men do. They look for what their boundaries are with what this female is, and you go as far as she allows you to go.
Yeah, because if I'm touching you and you like, ooh, stop.
Exactly.
Stop.
Don't say too much. But what I will say is that
Then
he was feeling her
like,
out for her
Yeah,
boundaries.
he kept going because that
But he
wasn't
pushed
a
them
definitive
boundaries though.
stop.
He didn't give a
He
damn
was-
about her boundaries. He stepped all over her
He
boundaries.
did.
He
did,
pressured
though.
her
It's
into
not the
caving
same,
in.
Harvey. You're right.
Okay.
He did.
Her
All
That's
right.
what's
Habitual.
horrible about this.
Okay.
But we're supposed to be the bad guys, but he can keep coming.
Guess
somebody
what?
shows up at
I
your
need
crib,
y'all to chill
I knock on
because
29
when we have
doors
these
because I can get
conversations,
you out of
no,
my
no,
head.
no.
I'm gonna tell
I've
you how
never done
controlling
that
he is.
before.
Oh
I've
my
never
God.
He bought a
knocked on
huge
somebody's
apartment.
29 doors looking for a stranger.
Thank you. He knocked on 29 doors looking for her just to tell her, look, I'm
Make
horny
it
and
stop.
you gotta fix
Make it
it.
stop.
Stop.
Make it
Fuck me.
Make
I'm sorry.
it
Make it
stop.
stop.
You didn't come
And
with
they
no
still
flowers.
did
You didn't
not.
buy
Nothing.
You
You
came
just
in
bought
your
some bubble
scrubs.
gum.
No, you came in
Okay.
your scrubs and you was like,
But
hey,
she's attracted to the
Kaya,
scrubs.
they
though.
tripping.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I will
scrubs.
say this.
Hold
I
on.
mean-
I
His
will,
arms and his
I want to hear
scrubs.
Nakai.
Is that romantic?
Nakai,
Is that romantic?
it's not.
is that romantic? What did you think about him knocking on 29 doors and just to find her apartment to tell her you need to fix it?
I'm gonna call the police.
I mean, when you knock on 29 doors, okay, that's effort. But the reason why you knocked on my door,
Effort. Boy, look
If
at
you-
these euphemisms getting thrown around.
but the reason why you knocked on my door, that's a different subject. But if somebody knocked on my door 29 times to bring me something like, oh, I thought about you and I was looking for you, okay, but to that's
but
not
y'all, and
So,
you, that's
Nakai,
right,
do you
Kaya.
think that was foul? What Raul did?
Which
The
part?
effort that he took just to have sex? That was selfish. as
But
hell.
he
I think
didn't.
it's a little,
He was about to
I
get
think
it
it's a
though, and she
little-
was gonna give it to him.
but I think it's a little pushy, but Lily wanted that to happen. Lily liked it. I'm not saying that I like it, but Lily felt like she fell in love with everything that he did leading up to that. So
And let's
broken.
just be real. It's girls giving it up for
For
nothing.
less than the 29 door knock. For sure.
Exactly. Just because
Okay,
you
I
walked
agree.
me to the car. But this
Yeah.
dude then knocked on 29 doors.
Doesn't give him a pass for me.
29
What would
doors.
Toronto hurt?
That gets
I
it.
don't care.
That's you like that effort. You like that
That's
determination,
horrible.
Teresa. You
That's
like, you know what?
Yes.
That's initiative. This man
That's
trying to
a
see
creep.
me.
No, it's
That's a
stalker
creep.
shit.
No.
Like,
I mean,
literally.
I guess I could almost agree with you if it was his reason wasn't like, man, I had to knock on all these doors so I can try to fuck you. Like, if
yeah, like if you bringing me flowers, bring me some neat.
I
Okay,
found your
bought
debit
nothing.
card. I found your debit card.
He bought some Magnum.
That's
He came
He
there with
coulda
some
came up with
Magnum.
something.
but I
Like-
feel like what needs to be
I'm giving it a
discussed
benefit
is
of the doubt.
I see.
Raul was kind of straightforward with her about what he wanted, and then he finally told her about his brother and everything that happened. But Lily never told Raul about Atlas. He met Atlas and know who Atlas
She's
was.
trash.
Then got a whole tattoo.
no, she said it
Oh,
on
that's
top
what
of
I-
the.
I'm
But
glad
she
you brought
said it
that
on the
up.
roof. She
Hold
said
on,
the
what you
first
was saying,
person she
Nakaya?
said was homeless.
Yeah, she did tell, but she didn't tell him.
She didn't go into
this,
detail.
Right,
No,
she
she
didn't
didn't.
go
No.
into detail.
You know why? You know why?
Why?
Because he moved so fast and he was so pushy. Before
No.
she knew it,
No.
she was caught up in something else. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give
He
you an
was trying to
example.
get it over
Mm-mm.
with.
Just
No.
like the house, when he bought the house, she had no say so.
No say-so.
He was like, "Come downstairs." Next thing you know,
What
I got a
is
house. Like,
wrong
damn,
with y'all?
it was moving.
She
so
was
fast.
living in an apartment.
So
Teresa, how
was
would
hers.
you feel if I
If
bought,
you came
if-
home
if-
with
if-
$1 million house
No.
So
I
I
said,
think
come
that-
meet me
just
here.
stop, bro. Just stop.
and it was
dog.
$1 million
How
house
you
You
rate
had
this
no
book,
clue
dog?
of what I
and it was
doing.
$1 million
We know.
house.
So this is
How you
the
make
thing.
this
Are you
book?
saying that if you invited me over to $1 million house, you think I would have a problem with that?
But everything I do, you have no
Hey,
say so.
Answer
just
the
rush it.
question. $1 million house.
Yes, baby, because you
Would
don't
I
like
have
to
a
be
problem?
controlled.
Oh, baby, no. $1 million house it
She
is.
don't like to be
$1 million
controlled,
house me
but
up.
she can be sold.
$1 million house me up.
It's a price on that.
It's a price on
yeah,
it.
like the exchange was not cool though. Like you,
Exactly.
It
you
wasn't.
bring me
It wasn't
here.
cool.
Gift giving is my
Yeah,
love
but
language.
but everything he did was so. And
It
she,
was.
and she had she couldn't process it. So when
He
found
tried
out,
to please
hold on,
her
he
all
never
the
gave her an
time.
opportunity to
He's a
tell
creep.
him about Atlas.
He's a
I
creep.
mean, everything was
That's
so
a
fast.
lie.
Before you knew it,
That's
hold
a
on.
lie.
He went to her house that one time. He spent the night. The next thing you know, he was pretty much staying at her house.
Mhm.
He didn't give her an opportunity. Like things developed so fast.
But she liked that.
But
She
again,
did.
Lily
Like-
ain't open her mouth. Ain't like Lily
So
was like,
not
you can't
one
stay here.
time.
She didn't
Like-
say, "I'm gonna need you to pack your bag and go back to your sister."
Lily ain't
Or-
innocent. First of all,
No, she's not
Nah,
innocent.
she's
I
not.
agree.
This is
She's not
horrible.
innocent.
Lily is
I don't think she had time
Messing
to
it up.
process anything.
for everybody.
But see, listen, I
Hold
can
on,
say
hold
that
on.
Lily wasn't
Yes.
innocent, but I cannot not say that Ryan was a creep.
But
No, I don't think
when
Rob was a
Lily-
creep, but I
when
do
Lily
believe
opened
know
up the
Rob
store,
was
she
damaged.
was 23. By the time they got married, she was 25. So all this happened in a 2-year span. So it
Right.
seemed like it was happening real fast. But if you just process it, this was over a span of 2 years.
And even
His sister was kind of pushy. Alisa was kind of pushy.
Alyssa,
But Alyssa was sweet.
She's the best white woman I've ever heard, and it's like I
Alyssa
thought
is the best
I thought they was
woman
gonna
I've ever
fight.
heard.
I'm waiting for them to fight at any moment, right? I thought they
Alyssa
was gonna kill each other. I mean, that's
and
just,
Lily.
why not? I mean, that'd have been a better story.
I mean,
Oh,
why
my
did
She
God.
was just this angelic white woman who couldn't do no wrong.
Who,
I couldn't
Lily?
believe it. Yeah.
No. Yeah, her
Lily
husband
did
was cool
plenty
as hell.
wrong. Oh my
Not
God! Did we
Lily,
read the
not
same
Lily,
book?
not
Because
Lily.
Lily,
Not
Lily,
Lily,
was
not
trash.
Lily.
Lily
How
is
was Lily
trash.
trash?
Lily was trash.
How?
What you call it? Her
How do we give
friend.
Lily
It's
trash, and
trash,
give
but-
Wild a pass? I'm over it.
Yeah.
I can't even believe you're
Hey y'all, let everybody pause
Because
their
Rao was
microphone
upfront
and
about
give
how
Teresa the
garbage he
platform
was.
because Teresa about to try to explain to us
Uh-huh.
in this genius way that Lily was trash.
Okay.
No,
number
I
Lily
mean,
one.
is trash.
Lily is
Alisa was trash.
Number
Alisa
one.
is a
No, I
Go
didn't say
ahead.
Alyssa was trash. I said Lily.
I thought you
I
said
was saying
was
Alisa is a
trash.
fake angelic white woman.
I
She
don't think
could
that
do
Alyssa
no
was
wrong.
angelic.
Okay.
I don't
She
think
could
she
do no
was
wrong.
There was
angelic.
She
nothing
was
wrong with
perfect.
Alyssa.
She was the
No.
perfect
Okay.
friend, and I was saying that I
She
was
was the
hoping
perfect friend, but she was
that they
the
was gonna
only
have some
friend
drama, and they
She was
never
the only
did. It
friend.
That's
was
why
weird.
we know Lily
ever
was
had.
trash.
So,
Lily
so
ain't never had no
she never
friends.
had anything to compare it to.
Yeah, Lily ain't never had no friends.
in high school. She
Right.
didn't have friends at all.
None.
So
But
this
she's also
rich
the homeless boy
white
who
chick
felt
just
like-
adopts her as a little puppy friend and says, "I'll work for you for free," and just always has her back. Just
That's
always has
because
her back. It was
Alyssa
amazing.
has
It was amazing.
millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, and she's bored.
And nothing to do. Correct. I ain't got shit to do today. Let me just go get a job.
Let me go work
go
at
help
this
her clean
flower
this place
shop.
Yeah, I ain't doing
Yeah.
nothing for
I
my
ain't got
day
nothing else to do.
What
at
does
all.
it say about you if you go through school and you make zero friends? What kind of person is that?
Crazy.
You think so? Or it could be that you're a late bloomer and you hadn't found yourself and came into
No.
yourself, and then you
Well,
start getting
The
friends.
town you live
after
in is
school.
too little for that to even really be a
Exactly,
thing.
'cause
Like,
you
you're
got-
supposed to know and kind of kick
So-
it with everybody.
So that
Hey,
does
your
say
daddy's
something
the
about your
mayor.
character.
It does say something about her character.
No. So it's a lot of different things to be said about that. You know,
Okay.
one of them is trauma. And when you're living in an abusive relationship and you can't bring friends over and you can't have friends because you can't show them your life, that's why you don't have friends. That was her story. She talked about that, you know. So I think that the trauma she experienced with the violence of her mother and father caused her to be isolated from her peers and forced her to grow up because she's experiencing stuff that's difficult.
I think that's what, Harvey, I would agree with you if I didn't look at this book in its entirety. I would expect that from Lily, but knowing what I know about Lily at the end of this book, I just think that Lily allowed her situation to form who she was. So, not that I'm saying, and Nakaya and I had this conversation. I think it's funny because with the type of money that they had, they could have hired somebody to get both of them on track. They could have had a live-in therapist that was always walking around with them talking about stop, no, don't. Because
But they didn't think they had any issues.
yes, they did. Lily may not have thought she had any issues,
Wow,
but
he
she
was
clearly
fine.
Type of
did.
money Atlas
Raul
about
did
to
not
start
think he
making.
was fine.
Atlas was balling, yo.
Atlas was balling.
Man,
Atlas-
Atlas opened up his second
Let me tell you
Atlas
something.
was like,
He sure did. But let me tell you a little bit about Atlas.
Okay,
I was
tell
trying
me a
to
little
say
bit about
Atlas.
Atlas.
Ooh.
I wouldn't
I
want
like
Atlas simply
At all.
because Atlas didn't even try hard enough. And at least Raul knocked on 29 doors. Atlas gave up every time he had a chance.
You know
I see
what?
it
That's
differently.
why AKAs love Q's.
Because
It's
I
confidence, dog. They love stupid confidence
They
because the
like
brothers be on
stupid confidence.
stupid
Yes,
confidence.
That's
dog.
that stupid
That's
nigga
why they
shit.
come pick him up in the
How do
party,
you want
like the
That's
booty.
that stupid Q-dog shit that
Like
we be
the
doing. I
booty.
need to look girls in the eyes and be
All of
like,
that.
look,
I don't
This
like
girl,
man
give
was
me
a
that.
he.
and I don't.
Girl,
This
give me
man
that.
has so
And
much
we don't do
respect
that
for
now.
her
You know how
that
many
he's
I
times,
agree
just.
girl,
with
you
you.
come on for that?
I agree with you. I
Oh
think
my
her
goodness.
happiness was his main concern. And he didn't necessarily know how that looked. But for somebody to save your life, that's what he said. He said, you saved my life.
Right.
Like literally, I went here to kill myself. And you rescued me from death. Damn. I don't really give a damn what you want to do. If you want to be with this crazy fool, if he hits you again, call me. So he was just overly
then he
accommodating.
said-
It wasn't that he didn't care. He did care.
Yeah.
But he stayed out the way.
He stayed out the way.
And he
didn't
said,
do
you know what?
enough.
And he said,
If in the future, if you ever find any room in your heart to love again,
Call me.
Just
because he had to
That's
make
too soft for
sure.
Teresa. That's too soft. That's too
That's
soft.
too soft for Teresa.
Yeah.
He
That's why
wanted
she
to
with
make
me.
sure he
I
could
need you.
provide
No, because
for
you ain't
her
never
in the
knocked
way
on
that he
29
wanted
doors
to.
for me.
Exactly. And that is big.
So he wasn't ready to go to her yet. He said, now I'm ready for you. Now I got
Now
two
I'm ready for
stores.
you.
I got staff that can hang out and do whatever. Now I'm ready.
But
I wanted to make
sometimes
sure.
it's too late.
For who?
This is why this book is trash, man.
That's why
This
she
book is
now she
trash.
already got a baby. Everything is complicated.
It ain't that damn complicated.
Oh, it's
All right,
complicated.
Now she a
baby.
single
Let's
mama.
talk about this. Let's talk about the baby. Let's talk
with
about
no
it.
money.
Let's talk about the
Right.
baby.
It's the broke part for
Hey,
me.
hey, y'all. Let's
Right
talk
there.
That
about
baby
the
about to
baby.
live a great life.
Was I the
That
only
baby
one?
about to live
Was
a great
I
life.
the only one thinking about the nuisance tax and just going and get the Hoover, the vacuum that thing on out? You know, it goes in the name.
Nah,
It's
I
in the
thought
name.
that was gonna be the first thing.
Nah, this baby is
Yeah.
gonna be so loved. This baby got two daddies.
Mm.
Bro, I ain't talking about now. I'm talking about
No, but
I'm
she was
talking
12
about during
weeks
the time
pregnant.
when she was, you know,
She was
when
12 weeks
when she
pregnant.
was breaking up with him, when she was gonna
was
go through with
12
her
weeks
pregnancy.
Nah, she
pregnant
always
already.
had both of them
She was
though.
what?
She had
She
both
was
of them
4
for the
months
whole.
pregnant already.
Yeah.
So what does that
was.
mean? You can't get an
That's
abortion?
what that means.
Well, hey, when does the abortion cut off?
At about that time.
Third
She
trimester.
could put up for adoption though.
I mean,
But
you
no.
have
How
to
many
have
weeks is third
you have to
trimester?
have
She
extenuating
was like 12 weeks
circumstances
when she
to
got
do
her head
that.
bust open.
Yeah, so she
So
was
she could have went the next day.
no.
Oh, it was too late.
No,
then.
It was too late.
It was too
It
late
was too
then.
late.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I-
she couldn't have fell down the steps.
No.
I mean,
Okay.
That's what he did.
perhaps
He pushed it.
maybe a car
He pushed
accident.
her ass down the stairs.
He ain't even really admit to that. She forced
He
him
pushed
to
her hard
admit to
enough.
that. You don't know that he pushed her down the stairs.
Right.
Oh, we
And
don't?
that,
You don't. You
hey,
really
don't?
don't
Harvey,
know.
you are arguing my point.
This book is trash, Teresa. That's
You are arguing my point.
So what?
don't
There was
know
an
that he
argument.
pushed
He
her
turned
down the
around and she woke up. Like we don't.
That's what I mean.
But listen, they had already. Let me tell you how much Ryle loved Lily. Ryle loved Lily so much that he made all these accomplishments. Ryle told her from day
The only
one.
thing he didn't do was not go to Minnesota. He made no.
Yes,
that's
because
the only thing he did.
that was what
And
his
keep his
main
hands to
focus
himself.
was.
He didn't do that.
That was 3 times. I know we ain't gonna talk about 3 times, sir.
Now when
We
he
is not
when he
gonna talk
bounced
about
back
3
from
times.
I don't care about burning my hands as long as I keep that good walk from you. That showed me something different because I thought he was
Guess
about
what?
to go Dr.
'Cause
Strange after he burnt
listen.
his hand with it. Damn, I thought it because he was so my hands, my
Something.
hands, my hands, my hands.
Nakaya,
He's
I
like,
need
yo,
your
as
ass
long
help
as I can
now.
get that wop, as long as I get
Yeah.
that wop, these hands don't mean
It
nothing.
was recharged. Like yes.
Nakaya, I need some
Oh,
help.
I'm here to back you up.
That walk.
They had a conversation. They discussed it, did they not? They said, you know what? We're gonna learn how to communicate. We're not gonna argue. We're not gonna fight. I'm gonna walk away from the situation. Let me walk away.
And he walked
That
away.
sounded good.
And he
That was
walked
good.
away. And it was several times that he used that coping mechanism
yeah.
with Lily.
That was great.
When they started arguing about moving, because she was like, I don't want to move because I got this flower shop. This probably that will make no money.
This
But
man
okay.
used all this time to be
And
a
She won the new
flower
business of the
shop.
year.
Okay, great.
I was
You're
jealous
wonderful.
of that too. I was like, damn, it must be real good to be
done.
white.
And then,
Trash, man. This book
so
is
he's
trash.
like, you know what? Even though my entire life to make up for shooting my brother, I wanted to be the #1 neurosurgeon in the country. Guess what, Lily? Because I love you so much and nobody else has ever liked you before in life.
That's psycho.
But because I love you so much, I will stay here in Boston. My
No,
sister's here. I'm gonna
no,
have she having this
no,
baby.
Teresa.
I'm gonna
a
stay in
black
Boston.
woman be like, nah,
Hold
dog,
on,
you too
Teresa.
much. You
Hold
gonna
on,
let
hold
nah,
on.
you gotta go.
Flag on the
You gotta
plate.
go.
What you
You
say,
too much.
Erica?
I say that because you don't hit me every day, don't get you a pass for hitting me hard as hell on Sunday.
This
That
was
don't-
here. At this
was
point,
love. Erica
at
grew up
this
in the house of
point,
love.
right? And at
You
this
can't, you
point,
can't
though,
save him up. Like I can't save all my punches up and just knock his
hey,
ass out of him.
you can't do that.
Mine wasn't like that. It really wasn't. I mean, I've said this, and I
What you mean
said to
yours?
Nakaya, I have said to Nakaya that, you know, what does this say about, you know, how we feel about, because we don't think it's domestic violence. We're more like thinking, because the very first time I was like, I don't know if that was even anything. The second time I was like,
Baby, you married to me.
hey, chill. And the third time was some BS. He shouldn't have done all of that. But I'm gonna tell you this. If I found out that my wife, everything I thought about my wife was about some other dude, I think I'm gonna be mad too, because our whole relationship is built on all this naked truth. We sit
I would have
around.
been upset too.
Yeah.
agree with that.
I would have been upset. You
I
got this
agree with
nigga
that.
pinning up on our refrigerator.
Oh, in my $1 million house.
Right.
But
That was low. That was
Well,
real
she
low.
should have said that. She should have said that.
Boston was better.
She should
But-
have said that.
No, you can't.
That's his own fault too.
No, but
That's his fault,
she's sitting around pining over this.
But you know what? He
dude.
was so motherfucking
But he wouldn't have.
arrogant.
He wouldn't have
He
found
didn't
none of
he
that
didn't take
out
the
if he
time to
wasn't
even
being
think about
nosy.
her. What you
Yeah.
say?
He wouldn't have found none of that out if he ain't read no diary. He was nosy. He got what he got
No,
what he was
Donovan,
looking
he
for.
would have found out if he wouldn't have been so arrogant and stopped to just say, hey, what was your past? Let's talk a little bit about you instead of talking about me.
No,
and my
they
name.
did talk about her, and she told him about Atlas, but she didn't tell him that she was sitting around pining over him and waiting for. And the only reason you in Boston is because of Atlas.
She had Atlas looking like a charity fuck. That's what he said.
No, she
Yes,
that's
she
what
did. She
Ryle
did.
Ryle felt like. That is basically because she
But
told
Ryle-
him.
That's how
felt
she
bad
talked about
because he
Atlas.
was so arrogant. It had nothing to do with the way
So-
he
No.
made the picture.
So
Because
both
when
things can be
Lily, when Lily told that story, she was
was
like, "Yeah,
homeless.
because my life is messed up and
That's
nobody
what women
likes
do,
me."
though. Women
and,
always try to like nullify their man.
Yeah, nobody likes
They always
me.
try. Oh, he was nothing.
You know, we
You
weren't
better-
rich.
We were just
weren't
friends.
rich.
He was like a
He
brother.
ain't even as big as you.
No,
Oh,
she
he
didn't- she
dumb. I
didn't
would
do
never
that.
go back to him.
Lenny,
Y'all always be
come
down.
on, let's-
So we can feel secure that y'all would never
Lenny,
go back with him.
Can
And
we
then
please?
And then we go. Then y'all go to homecoming, and then we see pictures of y'all and that nigga. We like, I thought you didn't like that nigga.
That's not.
All right.
no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can we
guys.
Yeah,
please
I'ma pull it
talk
back
about
just a little bit.
Lily
Yeah.
and this?
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Because
Hey, can we talk
Because
about
that's
the
what women do.
the tattoo that she got? Just
that's
to-
another
And the
thing.
tattoo, yeah.
Yeah. So
Wasn't it a tramp stamp?
it was
no, it was on her collarbone.
Oh, it was on a collarbone.
It was
That's
on her
right.
collarbone.
I don't know why. I'm thinking about Juvenile.
But then the funny thing about it was that's where both of them
Nigga
like
name
to
on your
kiss her.
spine.
Yeah.
How you gonna expect my mother to
So,
hit that from behind?
Cut it out.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about
So Lily got a tattoo on her collarbone where Atlas liked to kiss her, which she had considered to be her favorite spot on her body.
But before Rao
Then-
got familiar with that spot, he didn't ask no questions. He was just going straight in.
Hey, because
That
if
was
you're
his
in a
fault.
hold on, if I'm in a relationship
head
with
first.
you, and this is a truth, when we're getting to know each other, when you're going into a relationship with someone and you're telling them things about yourself, then you're expecting that person to tell you those things because y'all are open. They went through big exercises
Do you
of telling
Do you disclose
the truth.
information as personal as that if it's not asked? Like, do you like? I would have to ask you something. Like,
No,
I'm still gonna lie.
they
I'm still
thank
going
you.
to
Like,
lie.
you're just not going to
Well,
volunteer that
I'm never gonna
because
Nah, she
Rao
shoulda
was
pulled a
so
Nola
arrogant.
doll
But that was
She
not a
didn't
part of
even
the
think to
game.
ask that.
And
That wasn't a
Yeah.
part of the
said, yeah, I'm
game.
gonna have both of y'all.
A part
She
of
couldn't
the
do that.
game.
What you say? What you say, Harvey?
Like Nola Darling, and she gotta have it. How she had multiple men.
Mhm.
Like that's what she should have worked herself towards. She should have figured that part out.
She
but
had
couldn't figure out how to do
every.
it.
Let me tell you though, this book had me on
coulda
the
had both
edge
of 'em.
of my seat. Now I don't
Really,
know
she
if it's
could.
I
again.
Really,
mean,
she
that's a
could.
good book.
I you know, Nakaya, I feel like I have to keep going to you for this one, and I don't know if this is good or bad, but when she came in that house and she was feeling some type of way, and I know that feeling, you know, you thinking it's one thing and it's something altogether different, and your mind goes, what is going on? And she
He
has
shoulda
her
known when he
mind
asked that question that
set.
he knew the answer.
I almost threw her right there.
Girl, when
Seriously,
I tell you,
almost threw up.
What part?
I was at when
Right
she
there.
came in the
She was
house when he was
lying.
in the dark. I was like, "What did you do?
what did you
What did
do?
you do?" Because this dude is drunk. He is in the house. It was almost like I wanted to scream, "Run!"
Run.
And that and you know, and that's something that we found out too. Alcohol is not good for him.
Mm-mm.
And they had figured that out, and they had kind of taken alcohol out of their relationship, and they were doing much better because they were taking the alcohol out of the relationship. So once that happened and she flipped that light on and he was in there, I said, baby, this is not gonna go well.
That's what creeps do.
Her ass. I was like, oh, she's gonna run.
See, I'm having a
But
problem
she's
with this
not.
word creep because that's not my, you know, and maybe it's my age, but when I call somebody a creep, that's not a creep. This dude was livid, is what he was.
Baby.
And he
Baby,
was
He had
in
anger
this.
issues.
Baby, if he wasn't a creep, could you describe? Give me some words to
I'm not-
describe
I
Ryle's
can't.
personality.
Ryle was, I mean, Ryle did way too much good stuff for Lily.
Like what?
I mean, Lyle, anything that Lily asked for or wanted, he would do for her. He felt like she was
He
the
He didn't
panacea.
finance the floors.
Whatever you like.
I mean, it's like a whole bunch
Like,
of stuff I can think
and,
he
and
could
what
have done
and
for
what
her.
part when he started doing
And
for
he
Lily?
tried to walk completely away from her in the beginning because he was like, all right, this is not gonna work. But then he didn't.
I didn't get that part.
Me
Yeah,
neither.
well, he did because he was like, I'm leaving and this is it.
No,
If-
when he said that.
If the sister had not fooled around and found her out the blue, like, I just need a job. Can I kind of work for you?
You're not gonna blame this.
He never would have seen her again. Ever. He was willing to let that go.
No, he wasn't.
Free.
29
He
doors,
wouldn't let
he
it
go.
wasn't willing to nothing
He won't
go.
let that go.
Well, no,
He
he only
wasn't
did that
dream.
after he was reintroduced to her.
After he had that
It was
picture
not
on
from
his
the
wall, he kept
initial
looking at it
encounter.
every day.
Okay.
I wonder where she is now.
But you know what?
She got
I
that
will
collarbone.
just,
I
you
gotta
know.
hit that.
So
I
I
can't
feel
get
like
this out of my mind.
There
I
were
gotta
other
hit
things
that. I
that he
can't do
could have done,
surgery.
Teresa, that
I
could have
gotta hit
maybe
that.
validated what you said. Like you could have financed this damn florist. That's what you could.
But she was already in the process of doing that,
Yeah.
and she needed to be able to do something. He wasn't even fooling with her at that point. He had walked away from her. He only knew that she was there because Alyssa found that shop.
So what you gave me a baby?
No,
Oh,
no. He anything that Alyssa asked, I mean not Alyssa, anything that Lily asked for, he was willing to do it for
But
her.
what did she really ever ask for?
Well, number one, he would just come up in the beginning. He just came over there and he was like, you know what? We're gonna make this a trial run. We're not gonna do nothing. Sounds like a cuddle night. We just cuddling.
When did he say that?
In
Sometimes
the
they be the best
beginning.
No, he never said
Yes,
that.
he did.
He
No,
had
he
to
never
make.
said that.
She
Yes,
forced him to
he
say that. That was
did.
never his
No,
intention.
he fell asleep.
He
That was
fell
never his
asleep while she
intention.
was in the shower, man.
Right, but
Yeah.
that was
Shaving.
that was the first time. But
I'm not
after that,
sexy.
they
I
The
did it.
second time he picked her up.
Can I at least shave my leg?
No,
And they
the
just
third
no. He
time.
said we don't have to do
Hold on,
this.
what's up, Nakaya?
You're missing upon what you're saying. They said they were going to do a trial run relationship in the beginning when they first started. It was like, okay, we're going to hang out more and more. She literally said, she's texting. She was like, this is just a trial run. I'm going to see how this works out. And then that's when everything escalated after that part.
Yeah, she told him, I'm not gonna be your one night stand, and he was like, you know what? I want you so bad. I will work. I will try this.
I don't remember that. All I remember her saying is, if you try it once, you're gonna want some more. That's what I remember.
She said
And that was when she gave in. That was when she gave in.
He stopped mid-stroke and was like, "Oh, you're so right. This is so addictive. Oh, you were so right.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
I'll never leave your side."
Hey, y'all. I'm introducing a new segment to the show. It's called Lit Bars. Lit is short for literary bars. And literary bars is a quote or a sentence or any type of word phrase that stood out in the book. So if any word phrase or a quote or sentence that stood out in the book that jumped out to you, that's going to be your lit bars. So with that being said, Teresa, I'm going to start with you. Did you come up with any lit bars?
Not really, because again, I was so, into this story in a different way. So if I have to say something, I'm just going to go with It Ends With Us, because that's a summary of everything. It ends with us.
Okay, that was pretty good. Nakaya, did you come up with one?
Yes, and the word is please, because they said it about 5 million times.
Please.
Okay, so that's your lit bar?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
Okay. Donovan, what was your lit bar?
I have one.
All right.
He hated the book.
Harvey hated the book.
No, Harvey.
He got his whole look at
Harvey has some lit bars and he sent them to me.
Bars.
Harvey, would you like me to read your lit bars or would you like
Nah,
would you
can
like
read
to
it.
share them?
You can read them down.
Harvey has a plethora of lit bars.
That's what I'm talking about.
Row. I want to poop you right now. Row. All I think about is pooping you. Row. I don't give a damn about my hand is burning. I just want to poop you. Row. I did not push you. I did not push or headbutt you. I just want to poop you.
Okay, now that didn't happen.
Wow.
He made that one up.
No, he didn't.
No, he did make that one
That
up.
was on page 183. Wow. That's his magnet in there in my new apartment. I want to poop you.
Okay, that's that. He made that.
Hey,
up.
that's lit, my dude.
He made that up. He made that up.
Give me that.
Raul did not.
Hey.
Y'all gonna leave Raul alone.
Hey, Erica,
Golly,
would you
shit,
mind
boy.
sharing your lit bar or do you want me to read it? You got
It's
it?
right here. Yeah.
Okay, go.
15 seconds. That's all it takes to completely change everything about a person. 15 seconds that we'll never get back.
That's deep.
That was dope.
Mhm.
Now, that one was mine that stood out to me. The 15 seconds.
You got a 15 seconds, and then that was a 5 minutes.
The first one was 5 minutes.
The first one was 5
Mhm.
minutes. And then the
15
second one,
seconds,
yeah, was
5
15.
minutes. Yeah, because
I mean, that was very deep, though.
it'll make you look at somebody different.
Yeah.
Sure will. Especially in the activity.
It's all it takes. 15
No,
seconds.
the first one was 15 seconds. This was the first one.
Okay.
The second one was
It's
5 minutes. And I was about to throw up. I felt every minute that she was in that damn apartment in the dark with that food.
That was the third time.
Was it?
The third, yes, because
Okay,
it's only
so
it was
was that-
only
that might
because
be-
Ron only did this 3 times. Y'all trying to make him
Only
a
3
serial
First time
killer.
was the wine.
Yes.
And
The laughing.
time was the phone number dropping from the
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, because
then
I
him-
really need y'all to understand.
and him leaving and him running out the door and her running after him and grabbing him to get him to stop from leaving.
Right.
I just want to say that my mama told me to never put my hands on no man. Because if a man puts his hands back on you, it's gonna be a problem. So I don't put
There
my
you
hands
go.
on him. And the
Don't
third
put your
time,
hands on a man unless he wants you to put your hands on you.
Hey,
Keep my hands
check this out. This book is a romantic novel
No.
about love.
Is it about love?
Steamy, hot.
It's about narcissism.
narcissism,
it's
Oh
a
my God.
abuse.
Oh my
Yeah.
I
God.
think it's about
Okay.
repair. I
Okay,
think it's about
Okay.
repair.
Okay. Naked truth. Naked truth.
Naked truth.
Naked truth.
Okay.
If
And
you
codependency.
find- if you
And breaking cycles.
kinda
And
good.
breaking cycles.
naked truth.
Okay. What's your
Okay.
naked truth?
If you find a phone number in my cell phone case to a man that I told you I'm never talking to again or have not, what you gonna do?
We're gonna have a crucial conversation.
A crucial. What does crucial
What
mean?
makes it crucial?
It's gonna be crucial
Oh, how?
because that conversation is going to be the next 5 minutes in that conversation is going to be the outcome of our future.
Okay, so again, Lily always doing some Lily
You know
stuff.
what? what did what's the boy said with the big head?
I don't know.
Lie to me, Neo.
Oh, Neo.
Yeah, you.
So okay, wait.
You better
There
tell
was
me
nothing
something.
to lie. You couldn't.
You better tell me something that's really, really good that I can really, really digest.
Yeah, that case it
at
wasn't
night.
nothing to lie about though. Like he was the
That's
cause
what
of
I
that
was getting
number
ready to say.
being
So
there.
put that on you. You found
Yeah.
a phone number. What you do?
Yeah.
If I
If
find
you
a
find
phone
a phone
number,
number under the same exact the same circumstances, what do you do? Because I'm about to live in my whole truth. But go ahead. I'm gonna tell you.
I'm spazzing.
Oh, I ain't spazzing. I'm throwing that shit away in that goddamn phone. I'm throwing that shit on 285 on Bolton Road somewhere, and we done with that. What's the like? Some things you're not gonna change. Whatever I do, I'm not gonna change that that phone number was in there, and I'm not gonna change that you wanted it. But you better hope I don't catch your ass talking to it, because I'm gonna show shit.
You know why? Because it's too much at stake. We got kids, we got house,
All this.
we got shit we split.
No.
So the bill, we ain't about to do all that for no bitch.
Lindy, this is but I'm just really just
I'm
gonna
sorry,
I'm
YouTube.
just gonna
I'm
I'm just
new to
gonna
this.
live
We're
in
done.
my truth. Nikaya,
Dang.
did Liddy not throw my cell phone out the window?
Yeah, but that was a whole nother
Hold on,
thing,
hold on,
though.
hold on.
You was going
You
through my
know-
phone, and I told you.
You
said
threw
you-
out the window on the way home from the beach in front
On
of
the way
me
home on the beach.
and my friend.
And it wasn't even about somebody's number. So that's why
And
I
my
know.
You know what? It was about me standing on my word.
And then
I
you got
said,
to
if
drive
you don't give
around.
me my phone back, I'm gonna toss your phone out the window.
It wasn't.
No,
about
I
you
didn't
standing
have
on
your
weight. It was
phone.
about you throwing your weight around.
Yeah.
I ended
Right.
up having to
So
buy a
come
new
on,
phone the
let's
next
not.
day.
That part.
That's I'm just not gonna let
That
y'all
was
beat up
dumb. I'll never
Ryle
do that again.
when I know for a fact that toxicity lives around
Well, hold
all
on,
of these
Teresa. Hold on, Teresa.
conversations that we have.
Teresa. To your point, I'm not beating up Ral. Ral is he's a creep. There's no way to. I mean,
Oh,
we are creeps.
man.
That's just what it is,
That
right?
was a nice dude.
But this
Girl, I
past
coulda
that
got
he's
you in
getting
college.
is
no,
the
you
part
couldn't
that's
because
sickening to
you're
me.
too much.
You know, the past was in the book. You know, and then she has the audacity. She's the cause of all those incidents.
Mhm.
And then she has the audacity to say he's not worthy of love at the end.
Mhm.
Like, what?
Thank you, Harvey. And I don't think that we've ever agreed before, but I appreciate
Like,
that.
that was horrible.
I think that it was very unfair for her to keep her pregnancy and his and her child away from him all
She's
over
trash.
a circumstance that never was
Trash.
discussed. And then he left for 3 months, was gone, didn't tell nobody. Gets
Yeah,
back.
and he came back early because he was like, I need to get back to my wife.
Yeah, because you want to see if my these stitches healed up. Man, go to hell.
That
Get that
no.
What you want to make sure that I
I'm a
put some
surgeon.
derm
I'm
on
making
there?
sure
No.
her stitches are straight.
Man,
Make
get
sure she
out of
didn't get
here
any
with that
infection.
foolishness.
No.
I'm
Yeah,
not
man.
saying Wild was right for being on her and doing all the extra stuff in the end, but some stuff could have been handled differently.
It can, but when you can't determine my reaction for your actions, that's my thing. I'm responsible for whatever it is, but you can't determine how I respond to you.
Yeah, Lily
So
can't
I'm
be
gonna put you on
following
the good
people
old
on the
call, like, don't
steps.
call me. You enjoy England. Pay you some high tea and get the hell away from me.
Lily can't be following people on the steps and then
Can't follow
grabbing
people.
them and thinking
That was
that you
whack.
can't get pushed back when you jumping on somebody from behind. Don't leave. Come back. Listen to me.
Did she do all
Hey,
that?
listen.
Yes.
I'm trying to
thank
tell
you,
you
did
what
all that.
happened. I'm trying to tell you. See, he put
That's
his
how I
number in
imagined
my
it.
phone.
Just like
Yes,
that.
that's what he
There
put
was
Just
like
his
like
some
number
that.
good
in
steps
my
too.
phone.
Just like that.
Yeah. Don't you got to stop it. Stop it. Yeah.
Wait, one more time, Donovan, the hands.
Yeah. No, we have got to just give Lily some problems here. I mean, because number
I find
one,
it weird that you hold her to that standard, but you don't give Ryle the same.
I'm trying to tell you, if I
Riley's
got
just
a tattoo on my body that is from some other dude, my husband needs to know. Because we got to make some changes. We got to change it around to make it ours now. You know, I got to let my husband know that, you know, that place that he's licking is that place that I felt from this other dude. my husband needs to know that the reason why I moved to Boston was because I was idealizing the relationship that I had when I was 15 with a homeless boy. My husband needs to know that I'm still holding on to this magnet and I'm still putting it on my refrigerator. Like I'm waiting on him to come save me from something. My husband
but the
needs
whole
to
time you
know.
enjoying his steaks.
Yeah, right. But
You bringing your mama to his steakhouse.
well, she didn't want to go there anymore.
I'm talking about him. But keep going.
Yeah, but those are the things that you have to disclose. And I'm honestly saying, and again, I realize I messed up and I hope I didn't mess my child up. I feel like everybody has to bear the responsibilities of what they're doing to a person. And I just feel like that man went home. And when you realize, because Lenny said this, and I'm like, maybe talking too much again, but there are a lot of things that I've done that I've said to Lenny, you know what? If you do that to me, and I mean, I was just like, of course, I don't believe that he would, but I felt like if he was to do something like cheat on me or whatever, I'm like, I'll kill you. Because this is the deal. I feel like I've done so much. And I mean, that's human
don't flinch.
nature. It's like human nature to feel some type of way when you've given someone all of you. And I feel like, wow, whether y'all believe it's true or not, I feel like he was like, I'm trying to make this lady happy. I'm trying to rectify killing my brother, and I got my hands and all this stuff. I just want this lady to be happy. And she didn't trick me. And
she tricked you. Wow. Yeah, so naked truth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, naked truth.
I'm saying that I kind of feel where you're going with that part. Like you have given and given. I remember whispering in my husband's ear after Josh was born, I swear to God, I kill you. Ain't got shit else to get nobody else.
Yes.
Open my whole body.
My whole everything.
And these folks who don't know me from Adam's House Cat.
Laid on this table and almost died.
All that. I remember whispering that, not I love you, not he's beautiful.
I will kill you.
I will kill you.
I will kill you.
Okay. But the other part about that is, was he really giving that selflessly? I don't feel like he was.
I think he was giving everything he could.
He's a narcissist. He was doing all this stuff to make himself look good.
Yeah, I think that was the pain from killing his brother.
Yeah, I agree. There was pain and trauma from killing his brother, but like he's not altruistic. He's doing this to be the man,
to fix himself. To fix himself. To fix himself. But he kept thinking that if I can learn how to fix other people, it will be like I fixed my brother. But that was never going to happen. So it's something that he was setting for himself that he was never going to attain.
Her head open, man.
Yeah, she should have been laughing at that man.
Did the same thing to her that you did to your brother.
She should have been laughing at that man.
She
was jumping on him from the step.
The other ones was kind of like iffy, but that headbutt,
that's the only one. That's the one I give you. That was horrible.
Headbutt.
That was it. Yeah, that was walk away.
You know
and he bit her. And he bit her.
I know you caping for him.
Yeah,
he headbutted her because that was in him. It was graduating. Yes. You know, he do this, he does that. He do this, he does that.
Yes.
It was graduating.
Yes.
Because he was a bad person.
He gets turned on.
Well, I wouldn't go that far on that.
Blood in their hair. Like,
hold on, Kaya. Let me hear you, baby. I got a tune.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far to say that he's a bad person because every person has a little bad in them in some aspect, some way, but that doesn't make that who you are as a person. So the simple fact that, like in the beginning when she was scared to have him around the baby and stuff, just because he hit her when they had their instance doesn't mean he's going to beat on his child. So you call him a bad person. He's not a bad person. He's a hurt person. He's a broken person. He's a person with issues. Doesn't make him a bad person.
And he had enough money to get some help. I mean, I'm talking about living.
But I can reasonably believe that you might hit my baby and I'm going to have to really kill your ass. I can reasonably believe that.
I understand.
I can believe that.
I do understand.
I can see that.
I feel what you're saying with that. When you don't trust a person
You don't
because
trust
they
them.
have
Yeah,
gotten to the
because
point
they've
where
shown you who they are.
they are predictably
She was happy to get that baby
unpredictable.
off so she could run back to
Yeah, but
Atlas.
in the end, she
Let
dropped
me
him
tell
off.
you his
Dropped him off.
name. Let me tell you her middle name.
Right. So, okay. I
It's
mean,
such
I
an ugly
really
middle name too. You named that damn baby after a fish.
exactly. So again, let's get back to Lily being garbage.
Oh, that's
The
horrible.
name ugly.
That's
Lily
horrible.
being
She
You
ain't no more
garbage.
name,
garbage
you
than that
name your
damn dude she was
child
messing
after
with.
your
Because
ex-boyfriend, friend, pet name. That's horrible.
listen,
That's like blue
He's
kind
Lily.
of stuff.
trash because Lily
So
is
now,
trash.
That's
now we
horrible.
have gotten to
Ooh.
the point
Hey,
where
hold on, y'all. I'm sorry to cut you off. Lily was fashioned after the author, so watch that.
no, that's not the
Miss
point.
Hoover
That's
is
not
a
the
nice person.
That's not the point. The point is that Lily,
So
in her dealings, not with the abuse, with her dealings of how she handled that whole Atlas thing. Because as we were watching her come through what she was coming through, she didn't even let the audience know how wrapped up in Atlas she was. We saw glimmers and glimpses of
It was out of
what
sight,
she
out of mind.
said. But at the end of this story, when it started to wrap up, we're like, no, girl, you are all into Atlas. And then, and this is probably just black girl me, but at the end, when she does that whole, I'm dropping him off. First of all, that whole hospital scene with I'll never let you see her at your worst and all of that, man, he been all up in your house doing all this stuff for you, coming in, sleeping on your sofa, making sure you okay. You should have cut that off. Just if you felt like you were gonna be done with Ryle, cut it off. Cause you ain't too goddamn scared to be up in your $1 million apartment with a pregnant 9-month-old belly and he's sleeping on your sofa. So you tell me why you safe now, but you were not safe before. And then after you just, you know what, this not gonna work because it's not, and broke that man's heart in a million pieces because you know he's special, let him go. And now you dropping your baby off with him, who you supposed to be so scared of. And then you running after Atlas up the street. Hey, I just want to let you know I named the middle name is Dory. And hey, maybe we can kind of, reconnect. Really? So you gonna reconnect with Atlas?
This book is trash.
the
This
man
book is
who your
trash,
husband is
Yeah.
angry about you seeing this whole time.
My
Right.
ex-husband.
So that
You
makes you
ain't
look
shit.
like
This
cuckoo,
book is
cuckoo,
trash.
cuckoo.
Why does it make her look so okay? The end part about that, it was kind of like, oh girl, you went back to him. I didn't, it wasn't, I didn't really feel one way or another about it. But I felt like at the very end, she almost felt sorry for him.
For who?
For Ryle.
For Ryle, yeah.
I feel like she felt
did
sorry
feel
for him.
sorry
She was
for
just
him.
like, remember when he touched her stomach and she was kind of like, damn, this is the first time he's ever done this. That is so.
Ryle, you're a good person.
Yeah, but it was the first time because he didn't know she was pregnant.
And I have to deal with you from over there. You can't be over here. Once I allowed you in my space, you brought violence.
But she allowed him back in her space.
Ryle?
Yes.
She brought him back, but
he moved back into the
I
house.
see the validity of what you're saying, but I don't see. Yeah, I think it was like
he wasn't not allowed in her intimate space anymore.
Yeah, because they was hugging and laying on the sofa playing footsie.
She was in the other room.
Yeah, that's sleeping. But she would go in there and watch TV with him and do that same footsie crap she was doing with Atlas when they was 15. And laying on her stomach.
I remember the footsie.
Yeah, holding the baby.
There you go.
It's too much.
She's so angry.
Lily's
She is
making
angry.
Yeah.
She is angry. What's wrong with that angry black woman? She's angry.
Teresa pissed off with me.
I am. Lily made me mad.
This
Lily
book is trash.
made me want to throw up.
Listen, we're gonna end on this note.
So if the main character makes you want to throw up, that means the book is trash.
No, because I like the other people
All right,
and
listen.
I enjoyed all the other stuff that happened. I just did not like that last scene when she was, oh, wait, Atlas. Hey. You know, me, Lily, I'm still looking for you. I'm still
Alan should
waiting
have
for
punched
you
Riley
since I
in the
was
face when
16.
he
Hey,
had-
I'm
when
right
he had
here.
the-
I'm right
in the
here.
restaurant.
I had a whole neurosurgeon that liked me,
But that
but
was
I'm
his
still
right to
looking for
At first, I
you.
thought he was
And then he just kisses her in the middle of
Yeah, that's
traffic.
his right.
It's
Just,
ridiculous.
Hey, with that
Throw
being
up.
said,
He should have
Teresa,
mushed
how
her in
would you
the
rate this
face.
book 1 through 10?
I'm going to rate it a 9
Oh, okay.
because Lily pissed me off.
Okay. Donovan. Rate this book 1 through 9. I mean 1 through 10. It's the alcohol.
I give it a 6.
Oh wow.
I'm impressed.
I'll give it a 6.
Why would you give it a 6?
Because it kind of did pull me in with like the whole like I said, like the lifetime romantic story. Like, oh my gosh, I'm just a rich girl living in the city, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life, but start this business because I just got money to start a business. But then Lily just was just trash, and I couldn't abide by her. So we get a 6.
The readability. Did the book keep your attention the whole time?
Oh yeah, it was yeah. I would give it that. Yeah, it was great writing. Colleen did a really good job in the writing and like the assembling of the story. I'll give her that. But like these, I just hate her characters. But
Okay.
she's an awesome author though. Yeah.
Harvey, I know you've been expressing your feelings on the book, but before you rate it 1 through 10, what was the readability and did it keep your attention the whole time?
yeah, it was definitely easy to follow. It kept my attention. It's an engaging piece. Actually, I would give it about an 8, right? Because I know it's written with intent. Like all jokes aside, there's a lot of intent in why this book is written. However, I just don't like it. I just don't like how the characters are presented. It's a whole lot that I would in a real, yeah, I just didn't like it. But it's still an 8 though, because it's very well written. It's easy to follow. It's not confusing. But it's just not a lot to like.
I'm going to excuse me. I'm going to rate this book. I'm going to give this book a 9. Because the way I rate books from the perspective of if I was new to reading and I just wanted to get into reading, I want to pick up a good book, a great story that I can follow, that can keep my attention. There's no dull moments. And the story is easy to follow. I think this story was real easy to follow. She didn't make the words. It wasn't redundancy in the words. I love the past and the present and how she used the diary to Ellen DeGeneres to I like that. I thought that was creative. So I give the book a 8.5, 9. And I can give this book to somebody and I'd be confident that they will really enjoy the book. And I also like the end, how she broke the cycle. So, full disclaimer, if you hadn't read this book or if you plan on reading this book, this podcast, I'm sorry, we at the end of it, but we gave it away. But, Nakaya, rate this book 1 through 10 and give me your thoughts.
I would rate this book a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow.
Just because it was the first book that I read after I graduated college that wasn't anything educational. And it actually caught my attention, and it was 20% off at Target. And I thought that it was amazingly written, very simple to pick up, and I couldn't put it down. And I read it within a day and a half. I think I called my mom. Like I had 2 chapters after. I was like, "Mom, you gotta read this book." Like I don't want to tell you what happened, but girl, you gotta read this book. Like it's a really good book. I don't really agree with. I can't see her perspective, but it did lead me to thinking how people get stuck in situations and how people's past and their childhood affects who they are, and how sometimes people can get wrapped up in their childhood and not let it go, and it holds them back from growing. So that was my biggest takeaway.
All right. I just want to apologize. I made a mistake. Normally, I try to pick the person who picked the book last, and I just attribute that to Nakaya, but really, you picked the book. So
I know.
I
Erica go?
apologize. Yeah, no, I'm about to go to Erica. I just
Okay.
wanted to make sure that I give you that apology.
Okay, well, I can still close.
Okay. All right, I'll let you go.
Okay.
Erica?
I gave it a 9.5 too. But it was because I could identify, even though I did not necessarily like all the characters, I could identify with just about every character in the book. And I felt like she gave you a good enough background so that you could kind of be empathetic to just about everyone in the book. And I think I did a decent job doing that. None of them are my favorite, but I can see like everybody's pain and how they attempted to repair it. And it was really, really good. It was really, really a good book. 2 thumbs up, Nakaya.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. Harvey.
Hated it.
You up next for the next pick of the book. Did you do you know what book you're going to pick?
It
right
better
now?
not be anything by Rick Ross.
He don't, baby. We get all Rick Ross books. He don't have any more.
I ain't got no more.
Hey,
Nah,
listen. If you want to hear our review on the Rick Ross books, just tune into the Bros Bookshelf on all your podcast streaming platforms, and then you can check us out. But what you, Harvey, have you picked out another book?
I haven't. I'm feeling this Octavia Butler thing though. I want to get back into Octavia Butler. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I would like to
Is
do
that official?
I don't think I would be
Parable
mad.
of the Talents.
Parable of the Talents. Yeah, I think that was part 2, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
Is that official?
let's do that.
All right,
Is
then
that your
that's
final
official.
answer?
That's my
That's your
final
final
answer.
answer.
I won't be mad.
Teresa, you want to close us out?
I don't think I want to close us all the way out because I want to allow you to do your thing. But I do want to say that I want to really thank Erica, my soror to come in Lambda Kappa Spring 2001. I'm so excited to have sorors on the show. And I really want to thank my legacy because I'm so proud of her. She just graduated from FAMU, even though FAMU was not my choice. You know, she had to go with this man over here. But I am still super, super proud of her. Fall 19 and Beta Alpha. And I am so over the moon in love with this child. All of my children, actually. But I want to thank them. And I also want to say that even though we had this conversation tonight, and even though I may have felt some type of way about some things, domestic abuse is not a joke. And no one should be abused in any way or anyone take dominion over their body, over their mind, over their soul. So if anyone is dealing with anything in that sort, the National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-7233. Again, that number is 1-800-799-7233. And please understand that whatever your comfort level is what you should deal with. No one can tell you what your comfort level is. So if I like Ryle, that's me. I like Ryle. I would have paid somebody to live in this $1 million apartment with me. And, I would have had a bodyguard. But hey, everybody's not me. So if you are uncomfortable in any situation, please make sure you reach out to friends, family, or call the national hotline if you don't know anyone that you can personally trust. Lennon?
Well, with that being said, I do say that walking away is not as easy as it seems. And it takes a lot of courage because
just walk away.
Yes. But just like in the last book that we did of Octavia Butler, Parable of the Sower, change is God.
God is change.
God is change. And it takes it takes some type of courage to change, because you could be locked into it, and those little webs, it could tie you to your current situation. So if you're in a situation where you feel like you have to leave, call the number,
Walk away.
and take the first step. But that being said, yeah, thank you for another podcast episode of